Hi guys, it's Crystal City Girl Homestead. Time to start supper. It's squash season. So maybe it's time to do some squash things. I went to Horrocks the other night, or the other Monday, I think it was, and all of their squash was 57 cents a pound. So I grabbed a couple of acorn squash. So let's see what we're gonna do with this acorn squash. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half. This is my worst task about doing any kind of squash, because I never get it right. Never. Maybe I spoke too soon. There's so many squash that are actually really good, but it is so hard to cut them. Now I'm going to cut this one, the end off here, because it still has that. I don't want to bake that. So let's get this other one cut. Let's see if it goes as easy. Oh my. Look at that. That was so easy. Alright, now you want to check and make sure that they'll sit pretty straight. I think I did pretty good in picking them, so I think they'll sit pretty straight. Now obviously we don't want to bake them with the seeds in it. I've watched other people on how they do this. I still just use a spoon. I heard you can use an ice scooper too, or ice cream scooper. But I just use a spoon. Comes out pretty quick. But you want to get all those guts out of it. Now it's really funny, when I was a kid, I hated this squash. My mom, the only thing she would do is put butter, salt, and pepper in there. And you would have to eat it like that, and it just, ugh. I was not a fan that way. But you know, like, my sister and I have talked about it before, and, you know, back in the 60s, 70s, she was 18 when she got married. You know, she didn't know all the recipes, and, you know, some of the recipes back then were just so complicated, and they had a whole bunch of different things to use in it. And I'm sure for a young 18-year-old girl, you know, that was probably pretty rough, honestly. And she didn't have the computer and stuff that we have now, so she did what she thought was right. And you know what? It fed her family. And that's how it works. Yeah, she was a very young bride. 18, and she had me at 19. So she was pretty young. Now you can save your seeds if you want to. I'm not going to do that, but you can. Now I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in each one of them. If you'd rather use the butter, you can do that too. That's fine. Then I'm going to take my little brush here. I got a seed on my arm. And I'm just going to kind of brush that entire squash with the brush so that the oil gets everywhere. I do have another squash recipe coming up this week, and there'll be one that they'll be squashing next week, because next week I'm hoping to do soup week. And I was thinking, you know, I don't get invited to do the Soup-tember, you know, or whatever. So if there's any of you out there that have your own channel, or you would like to join in, I would like to do a Soup-tober. So, you know, any soup that you want to turn in for October would be great. I didn't ask anyone to join it. but I'm asking now. So if you'd like to join it, just let me know, or send me the video, or post the video and put Souptober on it. And we'll do our own. I'm just going to salt and pepper it. Now these take about 45 minutes to cook. So what you want to do is flip them upside down. I know for those of you who've never made it before, you're like, why would you do that? It works out better. I don't know why. It just does. And I've got it in a 350 oven. And we'll let that cook. And it cooks until when you put a fork into it, it goes through really, really easy. So I'm going to come back and show you what we're going to stuff it with. Okay, so yesterday I showed you how I took the chili and I put it in those little containers. Now we're going to pop them out. Now if you wanted to put them in a plastic container, or, you know, put them in a baggie, whatever, you could do that. But I'm actually just going to put them into my pan because it takes 45 minutes for that to cook. So might just as well. Look how easy that came out of there. So easy. Then I figured I had chili still up here. I already opened this one. I thought I'd add to it, and that way if there's leftovers, Tom can take a bowl of chili, because Tom is a big time chili lover. So Jack and I went to the bread store to get bread for my squirrel, and they had these Hawaiian dinner rolls for 50 cents. You know, Chris had to grab onto those because those are almost $5 now. Isn't that crazy? And I thought, you know what, we're eating chili. Even though it's inside of a squash, we're still eating chili. That might heat up a little bit faster if I actually turn on the burner. So, look at those. 50 cents. So we're going to put those in the oven right now too. You don't have to, but I want them toasted just a little bit. So I'm going to throw those in the oven. Like I say, not for long, but just long enough to toast them up a little bit. Then we'll be back and we're going to make these really, really good. I've never ate them before, but I'm assuming that they'll be very, very good. I mean, it's got chili in it. How can it be bad? Alright, so I'm going to let that get cooked down since it was frozen. But I wanted to show you guys how quick that pops out like that. I really like that. So I'm going to clean up my mess. We're going to come back in about 45 minutes. I changed my mind. I took the buns back out. I'm going to put them in there just a couple minutes before dinner and let them just warm so that, you know, we have nice hot biscuits. So I do want to thank you for the prayers. The pain is still pretty incredible. And like I can't just seem to get comfortable. I've gotten like, I don't know, 8 hours of sleep in the last 4 days. So it's been pretty rough. But pray that it gets a lot better before Friday, because sitting in the car is like crazy. And we're taking AJ shopping on Friday down to the Amish, not Amish store. And then I think we're going to take him to the other one. And I'm not sure if there'll be a Friday night video because we got to take our grandkid up for lunch. He hasn't been able to do any of the dates because he's in school. So he's like, Grandma, I really need a date. So we're going to do lunch and everything. So got to make sure he has a good date. Alright, so now the squash is done. And you know that because if you do it on the other side, you can poke through it and it'll be soft. So now I'm going to take my chili and I'm going to try to get as much of the liquid off of it as I can, because I'd like to have actual chili that we fill in there. Tom will eat whatever we don't use tonight, so it'll be fine. Jack won't be eating with us tonight. He'll be eating some of his goulash. He's not much of a squash fan, so look at that. Tom will be home a little bit better tonight. Courtney didn't go to work today. She was sick, so he doesn't have to jump off the highway or anything. Now I'm going to take some of that salsa jack, and I'm going to put that on top. Because, like, who doesn't like cheese on their chili? My ex-daughter-in-law got us used to that. Alrighty. So now let's pop those back in the oven and let everything get melted. I'm going to put the leftover chili in a bowl for Tom to take to work tomorrow. So no waste in anything. I'll be back when it's melted. Alright, look at that. I think that looks beautiful. It's going to be yummy. So, Tom is on his way home. He should be here shortly. And then we're going to try this because it looks really good. I'm going to pack one of them up for his lunch tomorrow, so he's got that. And he's got a bowl of chili left for tomorrow. And we're going to have some biscuits or rolls, whatever you want to call them. So, I'll be back when he gets here, and we're going to taste test these bad boys. Howdy, Tom.
Hello.
There's dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some of your favorite rolls today, too.
I see that.
Ha ha ha. So what do you think?
Delicious.
That's not even your favorite kind of squash.
Acorn, right?
Yep. Might have to use your finger. There you go. So what do you think?
Delicious.
Awesome. So we're going to let him eat because he was stuck in traffic. Was doing good and then he got stuck in an accident. So we're going to let him eat now. You guys have a blessed night. Be a blessing and goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
You guys have a great night.